Hi, I'm Blake.
And I'm Ian.
And this is Awk and All.
A podcast.
That's it. That's what this is.
Yep. And we're doing the damn thing.
Yeah. Still bringing it with those intros. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. I need to do something.
I don't know. I wasn't really
figure it
feeling
out
that.
one.
We'll keep it, but I don't know. I feel like I looked a little more John Waters like in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The creep.
I mean, I thought that's what you were going for. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it wasn't, but it happened.
Yeah. Well,
we'll work on it.
Yeah. Need that mustache. But
yeah.
So none of you will ever know this, but there's this thing that happens every time we start a podcast. And I don't know why it happens, because like we do see it and then somehow we both miss it. But every time we go to start the recording, there's an option for camera or video camera, like take a picture. Yeah. And you take a photo or you can record a video, and somehow every time we take a picture. And so it does the same countdown as it does for camera versus video, or picture versus video. And somehow every single time we do this, and then we're like, okay, 3, 2, 1. And then we just hear the
yeah. Like, we just got a picture taken of us.
Cool. And
people with Macs that
should
work with the little photo booth app, y'all know what we're talking about. But
yeah.
It's like this past time, like you saw, I had the video camera ready and everything.
Yeah.
And we started, and there was something else we needed to do, so I had to go back.
So we did it right this time.
Yeah.
And then somehow we had something else, and then we had to start it back over and picture.
Yep.
Anyways, it's one of those things that like you probably would have to be there for, but in doing every single one of these episodes, I just find it funnier and funnier that it happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's a hidden Easter egg that y'all will never find.
Yeah. We should start saving the photos that it takes and just put them on Instagram or something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We should have been.
We never save those. We just clear them and start again out of frustration. But we should start doing that. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
But all of that aside, my boy just got married.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm happy for you.
I got a haircut along with it.
Yeah. That's another thing. The wedding took precedence, but obviously we should pay a little attention to this fresh cut you got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hair's all gone.
Yeah, I'm not looking as mountain man anymore.
Yeah, no mountain man. All trimmed up, cleaned up.
Yeah.
No, what'd you compare yourself to the other day?
Was it Ronald McDonald?
I think it was the Quaker Oats guy.
Oh yeah, it was the Quaker Oats guy. Yeah, I was watching last week's episode, and I was just getting the Quaker Oats vibe off of myself.
Because the all the hairs pushed back. I get it. That was funny though.
I was making fun of myself. Yeah. I really was. I was straight up clowning myself. Like, you Quaker Oats looking mother.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, sometimes you got to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to.
Well, if you can't laugh at yourself.
Right. Hey, Ronald McDonald is crazy, though.
Yeah, I think I actually made a TikTok clowning myself with Ronald McDonald in the past. It's like one of those, like, it fades into your doppelganger.
Oh, yeah. And so you get the Ronald McDonald.
Yep.
And you should have done Ed Sheeran.
Where's that gun I had from the Halloween special when I need it?
Oh, that's a good one. If anybody doesn't know, this is super triggering for Ian to be compared to Ed Sheeran. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, now they know.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's coming now.
Yeah, it might.
But now that he's mentioned this, go and look up Eugene from The Walking Dead and put a side-by-side of him with Blake.
Wow.
Why do you do this to me?
I don't know.
Is this fun for you?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I figured it would be.
Yeah, it's a good time. But yeah, man, you're married. Congrats.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome.
Doesn't feel any different so far.
No, yeah, I told you it wouldn't. It's not a huge difference, especially when you go into it with solid foundation. You know, I'm probably repeating myself on some of those things, but like that's really, in my opinion, that's what it takes. If you have everything all laid out, like everybody live your life the way you choose to live your life, right? That's okay by me. But if, like me personally, I don't understand getting married before you've even lived with a person. There are people that do this. More power to you. That's fine.
Yeah.
Again, live your life the way you want to live your life. I don't care. But it baffles me. I couldn't do it. Because there are people I've lived with for short periods of time. I could never. You know what I mean? And then you have like an actual significant other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if you guys don't vibe well? What if you like things done this way, very specifically, very particular, and they're the exact opposite, and they refuse to learn? Like, boom, clashing immediately. Like, you got to know you can live well together. So I feel like that's an odd step that was always looked down upon back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
there was another couple that Michaela and I recently went to their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually last year. I found out they went their whole relationship before getting married without ever having sex once. Like, who still does that these days? This is... It blew my mind. Again, I know that's the right way you're supposed to do it, religiously speaking.
Yes, religiously speaking, sure. And again, whatever religion you practice is fine.
Yeah.
And however, again, you choose to live your life is cool. But dude, like, what if it's trash? What if, I mean, from their perspective, like, what if you're not good at it? Like,
of course you're not going to be good at it if you've never done it before. You
just also have never done, like, and you just got to dead planks the rest of your life because you're just not.
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him.
Like, I'm not saying, you got to go out here and learn everything you can learn a million times over before you settle down. Again, if you do, more power to you. But not even once. I don't know. Hey, again.
Surprise. That's literally what it is when after the wedding. Surprise.
Yeah. Surprise. This is bad.
It could be good surprise. It could be bad surprise.
I mean, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe some people are just naturally talented. I feel like it takes a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Figure out some kind of moves or something.
I wonder if they went that whole time without watching any porn either.
There's no way. There's got to be something. Like, there's got to be. I don't know.
You got to prepare yourself in some way.
Yeah. Do
you go through a 5th grade sex ed class again?
So here.
This is the PP. This is the VJJ.
I don't know, man. There's just like, I don't know. There's so much to learn from. And I mean, it shouldn't be all you base it on. Obviously, these people are experienced, paid people, but like you could learn a move or two out of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You ain't got to hold yourself to a standard. You could just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just can't imagine not once ever and saying, like, obviously there's things that are more important than sex, but there's so many things that before I can say forever, this entire list needs to meet what I'm willing to have forever.
But on top of the sex, as you said before, yeah, you have to know what it's like to live with this person.
That's a big one. Honestly, to me, that's bigger than sex.
Yeah.
Living with the person, that's bigger, I think.
At least 2 or 3 years.
But yeah, like you've got to live with them. I feel like you need more than a year under your belt because you could be like, we're doing this for 2 months and it's been wonderful. And you haven't had time, dude. You don't know.
I mean, you can still live with somebody and not have sex with them even.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you're going to have all these Karens coming at you and be like, oh, they're shacking up. Fuck them.
Fuck them. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine. There might be plenty of people that are disagreeing with us right now.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I just feel like there's a list of things that I wanted to know before I got married, and I checked them all off. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, every single thing was astounding, and I said, this is forever.
This what I want.
This is it right here. I don't need nothing else, boy. And yeah, I don't know. So I'm glad that you found that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's make me feel pretty cool.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'm starting to blush here a little bit.
Oh, well, don't blush.
It's too late. We're getting all bashful. Man, but for real, it feels good. And
yeah,
I mean, I know it's some people, it's just a piece of paper and all.
Sure.
A little bit more help with the taxes. That's how some people look at it these days. But it's, for me personally, is to please God, because I do have these Christian values.
Sure.
Other people get married for other reasons.
Yeah.
And also, of course, I love her, or else I wouldn't have gotten married to her in the first place.
Obvious. Yeah. That's the number one factor right there. Are you guys in love? Like, if that's not there, well, this shouldn't even be a conversation.
Exactly. And then number 3, it was for Sebastian, because I want him to see both of his parents together.
Sure.
Like, doing it on what is quote unquote the right way.
Sure.
Like, show this is how mom and dad are supposed to love each other.
It's good. Give them something to see what love is. Yeah. I get that.
Get those, what's the word? Not implanted. I guess that would be implanted, but
kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. Give them a little bit of values.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It may be old fashioned, but
yeah, and I mean it's an old fashioned take. You know, marriage isn't necessary for the kid to see that, but I also understand where you're coming from, because it all builds up on the values that you're living. I get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And we've been together 5 years.
Yeah.
So I know we got to go ahead and start counting the wedding anniversary as the actual anniversary, but
right.
Altogether, we've already been together over 5 years and living together about 4 of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You guys did good, man. You guys been doing good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Probably gonna cut that out. I had an itch in my nose.
No, we're keeping that.
Okay. Well, we're keeping that. You guys saw me scratch my nose.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's a good way to close that conversation.
All right. Well, hey, there it is. It was
it's getting a little awkward over here.
All right. So we're gonna go over some of the things that got left out, or some of the stories that got left out in our Halloween special.
Some honorable mentions.
A little honorable mention time. I definitely want to thank everybody that supported and watched and shared the Halloween special. I think people had more fun with that. You know, it's a special time and it's Halloween. It's on theme. It's pretty cool. So you guys enjoyed it as much as we did, apparently. And so very appreciative of that. So we have some honorable mentions that didn't make it into that cut initially. There are some that still aren't going to make it because of technical difficulties, unfortunately.
Yeah, we were trying to make something work for those, and it just did not happen.
No, just didn't happen. So we definitely apologize. Either way, all of them were read or listened to or anything like that. So you were not neglected on purpose. This particular episode was meant to bring all of them in and finish them off, but a good little bit of them got kind of lost in the mix, and we do apologize because we want everybody to feel included.
I feel bad.
Yeah, me too. But either way, we're going to get started on that. We've also got a little something at the end of these, an experience that Ian and I had.
Yeah.
Which, is a little, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah, maybe something you have already noticed.
It's
and maybe
possible.
You noticed it, but didn't exactly know what it was. But
right. And so we'll go over that experience together.
Yeah.
So we'll just jump right into it. This first one comes from Zach.
Hey, Zach.
You may have heard Zach's name come up on the podcast before because he loves golf.
And he's mad at me for not liking golf.
Ian hates golf.
Yeah.
So I do too, so I don't know. But
yeah, but you're a fan.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So
I'm a residual fan.
Yeah, residual fam versus family. Yeah, well, you know. But anyways, so Zach, he is an advanced EMT, so he has worked at many locations, many hospitals, fire departments, all kinds of things.
Seen a lot of shit.
He has seen a lot of stuff. But usually it's not paranormal. Except for this one instance. He was working at a fire department over in the Forest Park, Morrow area-ish. I believe it was Station 3. And so the crazy thing about this particular building is that it was built on top of a morgue. And so, of course, that already gives off an eerie vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's said, and then, you know, people say things just to mess with people. You never know, because he never saw this apparition, he admits. But usually when when it's like late at night and you look up in the top window, you can definitely see it when you're taking the trash out. And if you do that late at night and you look up in this window, sometimes you'll see a figure standing there in the window, just kind of watching over, which is a little eerie to think about in general. But he says he never saw that one. But what he did see was late one night around 2 a.m. or so. He's laid up just waiting on calls and stuff like that. The ambulance in particular had just been called, so it was only him and 2 other guys that were working with him that were in this building altogether. So he knows that this wasn't just like somebody else walking by or anything like that. So he's like laying in bed trying to get some rest and stuff like that, but he hasn't really fallen asleep or anything. And there's a figure that walks out and down. It doesn't look anywhere. It just walks straight. No head movement, no nothing. Just very straight across. And then there's a door that they have that swings open. And it went through it. The door didn't open. It just went through.
Just silent.
Just silent. Quiet.
Just slid right through.
Straight through.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, this is one of those things that, like, when he was telling me about it, that you could tell how freaked out he was just in telling it. Like, he was getting like huge chills, like, all over, just thinking about it. I think he said it's one of the only paranormal like experiences that he's had, but that one has like always stuck with him hardcore.
Did he say that the figure had any kind of form to it, or?
Yeah, so he did describe it, and he said it looked like a man that maybe was militant in some form or another.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a medium build, nothing crazy, but no definitive features of the face or anything. Just I think he said it might have had like a little bit of a stomach on him or something, and that was about it. But yeah,
a ghostly beer gut.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice. So if he's militant and this was like in the Morrow Forest Park area, maybe this was like a Civil War era ghost. I don't know.
Could be.
Especially if it was built on top of a morgue.
Maybe.
Had a lot of soldiers coming through there.
Mm-hmm. That is a possibility. Knowing the area, yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it could be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You hear a lot of ghostly stories around that area. I think this particular area around Jonesboro has a lot of particular Civil War ghosties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's one specific graveyard that's notorious for it.
Kind of want to go.
Yeah. I'd have to figure out which one, but I know it's in Jonesboro.
I know we're out of the spooky season, but I kind of want to go.
Yeah. That's why we wanted to do this one. It feels like a good way to close out the spookies.
Yeah, just a good in-between crossover into some other things. So the next one is actually from my wife. She's got... So this one involved a spirit of like what I would only be able to describe as like a little boy, right? The only one that I was really present for was a time where she really needed to get to work. And I think I still had like an hour or so before work, but she needed to get going. Otherwise she was going to be super late. So she's looking for her keys and she can't find them anywhere. I'm helping her. Her aunt, who was staying with us at the time, is helping her. I mean, we're tearing this place apart, dude. Like, there is no need for keys to be this lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are tearing it apart. We're going through. We had this like L-shaped couch. We're like taking all the cushions out, taking all the stuff off the cushions, digging through, arms in, under the couch,
it's just
through the kitchen. We're just not finding it. We're not finding it. So we're like, okay, what is going on? And so her aunt, who's like really into more paranormal stuff as well, is like, he's here with us. The little boy's here. And he is playing a game. He's having a little bit of fun. He grabbed your keys and he hid them.
She's saying this like this is no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. She's just like, she's just being aware of the ghost. I was like, what are you talking about, man? She goes, hey, we know you think it's funny, but she really needs to get to work. She needs these keys. So if you could just bring them back, that'd be great. First of all, when I tell you we tore this couch apart, I don't know if I really made myself clear. We tore this couch apart.
I feel like you.
The stuff that was on this couch, gone. All put back together. And we look over, and there they are on the cushion. Not possible. You know what I'm talking about? I just
you tore that thing up.
Not possible, bro. When you rip out all the cushions, how are they going to be sitting on the cushions? We would have found it when we put everything back. Like,
well, did you hear a little clink when she asked?
Nope.
Nothing like that?
Just literally sitting there.
Just right there.
Just there. And I don't have any other explanation for it. And so I don't know.
All right. So this one that was sent in, and I do appreciate my friend for taking the time to write this one out, because this particular situation she was in at the house she grew up in always makes her a little uncomfortable to talk about.
Okay. Yeah.
And another thing is, for everybody else listening, there's a little trigger warning. There is mention of domestic violence in here. So,
okay.
This is from Morgan. How you doing, Morgan?
Shout out to Morgan.
Good buddy. The house I grew up in was pretty creepy. I wouldn't call it fully haunted, but it definitely had some unsettling characteristics. There are two specific times I can share with absolute clarity, along with probably dozens of instances I've forgotten over time. So over the 18 to 19 years I lived there, I had a few moments that left me questioning reality. First, a couple of facts about the house. There was a hidden room accessible from the living area, but a large cabinet was built right over the door. There was never any discussion about why that was, We bought the house that way, and I was too young to remember if it had ever been explained. At some point, my older brother told me about the room, but I thought he was joking. I confirmed with my mom, and it was never brought up again. My parents weren't religious or superstitious. Just typical white people in a horror movie who would say, "What do you mean having a hidden room blocked by a gun cabinet is weird?" Meanwhile, the audience is thinking, why wouldn't that be weird?
This is true. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
All that to say, I remember thinking it was odd, but never having any information about it. The second odd thing about the property was that in the back of our roughly 4 acres, right on the edge of the neighbor's property, sat a Civil War era cemetery. Yep, there it is again, more Civil War era shit.
Yeah.
None of the houses in the neighborhood were original Civil War era homes. The cemetery was part of a property that was actually quite a bit further down the road. For context, this was not a subdivision, but a residential area off a main county road. This was in metro Atlanta, not as remote as other places in the Deep South, but still a quiet area. I think these details matter, knowing that the house wasn't directly linked to the cemetery, but was still close to it.
Yeah.
My neighbor had done extensive research on the graves, so all I know comes from his good faith. We had to ask him for permission if we ever wanted to visit the cemetery. Despite it technically being our land, our neighbors were old and grumpy, and my parents wanted to respect their wishes by not going back there unless accompanied by the old man.
Interesting.
As an adult, I understand. He just wanted to ensure the graves were respected.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
While neither my brother nor I were ever that reckless, it was better to follow his lead.
Yeah, because you just never know when kids and teens and yeah.
It was right there on the edge of his property, so.
Right.
Yeah. In the cemetery, there was a grave for a doctor, his wife, and their child. The child passed away before reaching the age of 2, and I remember the grave had a very small headstone. It also had an original black wrought iron gate around the gravesite. Other than that, I can't say anything remarkable about the cemetery. Was it creepy? Sure. Did I ever witness anything strange there? No. The same goes for the hidden room. Creepy? Yeah. Did I ever hear or see anything behind the gun cabinet? No. However, I did have some strange occurrences, all of which happened in the house. The first experience stands out most vividly. Whenever someone asks, "Do you believe in ghosts?" or, like Ian asked, that's me, "Have you ever had an encounter?" This memory flashes through my mind. So I'll tell it exactly as I remember. It was nighttime, and I was walking around to make sure the front door was locked and the garage door was shut. I pressed the button to close it, but I always watched to make sure it went down all the way. This door always had problems, and lately it was worse than ever. It would go about halfway down and then start to go up again as if it were stuck. You had to wait until it was all the way up before trying again. Sometimes it would get stuck 3 or 4 times before finally going down. For context, there was a large floodlight outside further down from the house, but the actual light in the garage was dim. This is important. You couldn't see much detail, but the floodlight produced lots of light and shadows. So the door was on round number 2 and failed me again. I remember feeling irritable that night and almost saying, "Forget it, I'm just going to lock the door and leave the garage door open." But my mom wouldn't like that, and I would hear about it the next day. So I pressed the button again, annoyed and fighting teenage impatience. This time, the door seemed to be going down. It was past the halfway point when it stopped. Now, the door didn't usually just stop dead. It would kind of glitch, but there was no pause before it would fail and start going back up. This time, it just stopped completely. There's no sound, which was also weird since the noise garage doors make is something we are all familiar with.
Right.
But the silence immediately made me freeze. I honestly believe my hearing kicked in before my sight did, as it took me a moment to really understand what I was seeing. Right outside, I could see a shadow. 2 legs, clear as day. I told you that floodlight was strong, and I knew I wasn't seeing a reflection. There was nothing blocking the light, No trees, cars, no trash cans, nothing.
Right.
These were legs. The door was shut with just enough room left to see knee level down on the legs. The door had never done this before. I honestly stopped breathing. I remember the pure fear. And then just as quickly as it happened, the door started going down again. The shadow remained until I could see nothing else, and the light in the garage shut off about 5 seconds after the door was down. Like many standard garages, it had little windows and I could see nothing was there. That was the first experience. The second experience came a couple of years later.
Mm-hmm.
During this time, I think it's important to note that I was pretty isolated and in a rough spot mentally. I was about 20 and in my first real relationship. Those were quotes, by the way, over real.
I figured.
Yeah. If you can call being with an alcoholic, sociopathic abuser a real relationship.
Ooh, gotcha.
I was isolated from my friends and family during this time, which is common for people in abusive situations.
Yeah.
I didn't stay at my house very often since my mom hated my boyfriend, and I basically followed him around from house to house. It's embarrassing to admit how foolish I was during that time, but being in the house felt even weirder during this time. Yeah, caught that now. It's
definitely not embarrassing.
Yeah.
People find themselves in these situations, and it definitely sucks, and it's not okay, but not embarrassing.
Yeah, not for you, at least.
No.
Yeah, I may not believe in all things supernatural, but energy is undeniable. When you're in a dark place mentally, dark energy can find you more easily. I remember seeing a lot of shadows in the corner of my eyes during this time. When I was in the shower, I'd see light shift as if someone had just walked past the shower door, even though I was alone. One night, I was actually at the house with my boyfriend. This was strange since he wasn't welcome 99% of the time. His own family didn't even like him, which gives you an idea of how terrible he was.
Yeah.
He was sleeping, and as I mentioned, he was an alcoholic. I didn't drink with him at this point. I knew I needed to be sober enough to move in case he decided to hit or shove me. I was scared that if he ever knocked me down, I wouldn't be able to get back up if I were drunk, and I worried about how he would take advantage of that situation. He slept very deeply, with his arm draped over me that night, making it hard for me to breathe. But I didn't want to move. He could be violent even in his sleep, and sometimes if I woke him up, he would strangle or kick me.
God.
Yeah, so I lay still, trying to concentrate on my breathing. I say all this to make this point that I was not under the influence of any substances. I didn't know you could trick yourself into sleep paralysis this way, but that's what I must have done. My eyes were open, I was breathing as if I were asleep, but I was definitely awake. I was facing the window, and the door to my bedroom was on the other side of the room, facing my back. It was closed, and then I heard it open. The carpet was thick, so you could hear the door moving over it. I had lived there my entire life. I knew that sound. When I turned my head to see who had opened the door, I realized I couldn't move my body. It felt very strange, like my brain was sending out commands, but no one was home to answer. I've always been kind of a baby and never slept in complete darkness. My bathroom light was on, and the door connecting my room to the bathroom was cracked. An electric bill truly hates to see me coming. Gotta put a little humor in there.
Feel that.
Yeah. I could see the bathroom door from my paralyzed position, and I saw a shadow cross it, as if someone had walked right by, but there was no one there. At this point, I was terrified. I don't know if I can find the words to describe how horrifying it is to scream in your head for your body to move and nothing happens. I remember looking at my arm, which was halfway hanging off the bed, and begging myself to pull it back up and under the blanket. I looked at the foot of the bed, and the room seemed darker, as if the light from the bathroom was being absorbed. I saw a dark, circular shadow hovering at the foot of the bed, like someone was peeking up but didn't want to be fully visible. And when I say shadow, I mean it literally. I could see a shape that I couldn't see through, much like the legs I had seen before. This shadow had no identifiable features. It started moving along the side of the bed, closer to where my head was, going slowly, as if it wanted to make sure I was following along. I couldn't have looked away if I tried. I was still fighting to move, but nothing was happening. The shadow met me at eye level, my hand still hanging off the bed. I was staring right at this dark figure and I was petrified. If I can describe it any way, it was like someone was crawling on the floor but kept their face halfway visible, peering over the edge of the mattress. We stayed like that for what felt like a couple of minutes until my ex, still sleeping, used the arm he had draped over me to push himself away. That sudden jolt must have woken my body up because I was able to move again. I shot upright, still looking at the spot where the shadow had been, but there was nothing to see. It was gone in the blink of an eye, vanishing with that sudden movement. About the only good thing that ever came from that relationship was him unintentionally waking me up that night. I could have been dreaming. I know that's possible in sleep paralysis. I don't know much about astral projection, but thinking about that night makes me never want to explore trying.
Makes sense. Yeah, even when it comes to sleep paralysis, man, those experiences are just... I've never had one, but when I read about them or hear about them, I never want that, man. That is petrifying.
Yeah, I always get worried because the more I hear about sleep paralysis, like...
Makes you feel like it might happen.
Yes. Yeah, they say, speak of the devil, he will appear.
I was just thinking that too.
Man.
I was like, dude, this is going to be the time where it finally happens to me. Like, I'm so laser focused in on this story that I'm screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. Just...
I don't know, man. That's scary.
It is. Especially with those shadow figures.
Right. Yeah, that's the most terrifying part. And you can't move, so it's just like vulnerable, man.
Yeah. Right there. I'm here to do whatever you want to do to me, shadow buddy.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the first thing I thought of whenever she was talking about that shadow crawling along the floor as a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she's told, like, as she mentioned in the beginning,
yeah,
like, there's plenty of instances she's had over the years, and I feel like there's more stories that she's told me than the one she actually covered in this one.
Yeah.
I've been over to that house, and there was one particular instance where one of our friends had me look over into a room down in the basement, and I was looking real slowly. This was the time I was on drugs, but still, the feeling I got when looking into that room was just... all I wanted to do was look. I just wanted to look and then get away.
Not a good feeling, yeah.
Nah. I never saw this hidden room she was talking about with a gun cabinet in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of curious because I don't think her family lives there anymore. I know she's moved to another state, so hopefully she's not having any more experiences like this.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. It was crazy at that house.
Yeah.
And I do, again, I appreciate you, Morgan, for taking the time to sending that in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we're sorry you went through all that.
100%.
Yeah.
Glad you're out of it.
Mm-hmm. But we've actually got a pretty recent ghost story of our own.
Yeah.
And we were kind of saving this one toward the end of everybody else's ghost story because it's a pretty intense surprise.
Yeah. It's in our Halloween episode, which is crazy to me.
What timing?
Yeah. So, like, it's really weird. Like, obviously, it lines up just too well to be in our Halloween special. And I understand. Like, I can see every single thing from the skeptic's perspective.
Oh, they're going to be coming after us.
No. And that's okay. Because I get it, right? Mm-hmm. I definitely understand.
But for this particular one, there's no way we could explain this one away.
There's not. So, like, just to give you the full backstory, okay, we filmed our Halloween episode, and I got right in on editing and cutting it down to everything like that. And the way a lot of these episodes go is we'll cut them down, we'll edit them. Whatever I do to the edit, I send it over to Ian. He listens through, makes sure everything's good. Cool. So we did this, and that was it. I did nothing special. And I want to reiterate that I swear on everything that I did not add anything to the video, because obviously that's the first thing people will jump to. And I promise you I get it, but I didn't. I get it on there for him to go and find and listen to. And he's listening through it, and he screen records a section and says, "Did you add this, or did you notice this?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea what you even mean. Like, as far as I know, it should just be us talking. And so he screen records it and sends it, and I'm listening, and I'm just like, yeah, it's us, banter. And like, okay, got it. And then I hear it. And at the time, I'm in the car listening to this through the speakers in the car full way around. And when I tell you, like, chills through my body, bro, like, I have zero other way to explain it. It's a female's voice. I don't know how. Like, something else that you guys might not know is, like, with these microphones, they will not pick up anything. Like, if I'm standing way over here,
unless you're right up on it,
you're not going to hear. Everything has to go right here. Sorry.
Suggestive.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
That's clippable.
Lighten the mood a little bit. Everything's got to go right here. Otherwise, you won't hear it. It's muffled. It's in the distance. Like, it's just not a thing. So it's just me and Ian here recording that day. And so some people that have heard it thought that it might be Ian's wife, Michaela.
She wasn't home,
but she was at work. So the other thing is that for how clear it is, you would have to be like right here to hear it. And it's real short. And I don't know exactly what it says.
It sounds like "Hey toots," like something a lady would say in the 20s or 30s.
Right. It's just like a "Hey toots."
What I thought when I first sent you the screen recording. Yeah, right. But this particular part was when
"Hey toots."
When Blake puts on the Wolverine mask to show how much of a fail that was. And there's a backstory to this, but because of how he looked, I thought he kind of on purpose edited it to where it says "Hey Tex," because he kind of looks like a chipmunk, like "Hey Tex." But no, upon further listening to it, it sounds more like "Hey Toots."
Right.
It was a woman's voice.
Mm-hmm.
It was just undeniable. There was nobody here.
Without further ado, for any of you that might have missed it, or you heard it and overlooked it because you might have thought that it was his wife Michaela or anything like that, or maybe you guys don't know where we record and you thought it was my wife Shauna, I don't know, but it was just us. So that's fun and kind of scary.
Yeah, I got chills too.
But here's the video. Again, we're going to run it back so you get to see me and all of my goofy glory wearing the Wolverine mask.
Ta-da!
That's it. That's the reason. This is why. And
all right.
So there's that. And I think I'll give it another play, just kind of like slowed down.
Mm.
And so we'll give you that here, a little more cut in on the thing.
This is why.
Yeah, for a little bit of backstory on that. As you notice, it was when he was wearing the Wolverine mask.
Throughout the whole episode, there's nothing else. Yeah, it's only during that time, yeah.
For this particular mask, I ordered it from Amazon. It was shipped from another country, and it took a little bit longer than expected to get here. Upon putting it up in the closet for us to use later, I just get this really weird feeling. And I feel this chill going down my spine. I can't explain it. So I put it in the closet, go upstairs, and nothing weird happens until the next night. Me and my wife are laying in bed, and our cat is with us. And he's sitting over my end of the bed, at the foot of the bed at the corner. And he's kind of like just staring intensely at Michaela, like he's giving off the vibe of a mountain lion, I swear to you.
Right.
Never seen him look this intense. Right. And I'm just looking at where he's looking. It's right. It's not right at Michaela, but right over her.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm getting her attention, trying to, because she's reading a book, and I'm just like, baby, look at how hard he's staring at you. She's not really paying attention. She just wants to get back to her book. She's like, okay, I ain't worried about it.
Right.
And
nothing.
So he just keeps on looking at her right there. And I remember that story from the first story we read on the Halloween special.
Yeah.
Where he says, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's power in the name. And so I say it one time, and his eyes dart to the top corner of the room. And it's just stuck there for a second. I say Jesus a second time.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes dart to another corner of the room, like over my corner.
Interesting.
Like every time I say it, his eyes are going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it a third time, his eyes dart out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And after a few seconds, he starts relaxing. He starts licking his chops a little bit, and he lays down. So that is weird experience number one.
Okay.
Which leads to what we just told being weird experience number two.
Right.
There's something weird about this mask. We were going to keep the mask to possibly give us a giveaway next year.
Right.
Nah, I had to get that shit out of here.
That's fair. Yeah. No, I get it, man. I don't know how to explain any of it, but it was definitely weird. And, to some of you, like, it might not be like a major thing, but I don't know, man. When you experience it and when you had it on your face, it's a little chilling. It's weird, to be honest, but
you don't know if it's attached to you now.
No, it better not be. I ain't had any weird experiences since the recording of that episode, so thankfully. Knock on some wood.
Also not my wood.
Not yours, no.
Okay. All right, so we're coming out of spooky season,
mm-hmm.
and we needed a new theme, I suppose. So for the next 4 weeks or so, we're going to be talking about conspiracies that interest us.
Hell yeah.
To start this one out, well, let me go ahead and make mention of something I've been seeing a lot of. If you live in the Atlanta area and you regularly drive I-285, there's a good chance that this is going on. But along pretty much every exit sign at this moment in time, you'll see some signs that say Elon Musk is an Anunnaki shadow or something along the lines. Now, for a good few years, whoever this guy is has been putting out a lot of signs along the highway. The first one I noticed of him was saying something along the lines of Fashion Nova kidnaps girls.
Yeah, okay.
And then you seen that one?
I've seen that one.
Yeah. It's the same handwriting, same guy.
Okay.
Around the time that they had that school shooting in Robb, Texas, He was putting out signs that said, "Rob, Texas, killed for prayer." Like, and others that say, "Stop Anunnaki terrorism." I feel like you may have seen those.
I might have seen the terrorism one as well, I believe. Yeah.
Well, whoever this guy is, for now, we're just going to call him Sign Guy.
Sign Guy.
Very original.
Sounds original to me.
Thank you.
He's the sign guy. Yeah. Bill Nye the Sign. Oh, sorry.
Upon doing research, apparently people know where this guy lives. It's somewhere in Fayetteville. He's got signs all over his car and signs all along the front of his house. So,
really?
But for some reason,
I want to try by there, dude.
Yeah, I want to figure out where it is.
What all of its signs are.
Yeah, it's somewhere in Fayetteville. I don't know exactly.
Anybody knows, don't dox this guy.
Yeah.
Don't just throw it out there. I know apparently it's out there.
Yeah.
But like, don't just throw it out there in our video or something. Just send us a message.
I mean, I wouldn't mind him reaching out and giving us his point of view.
Dude, if you see this, give us your point of view. But yeah, just shoot us a message. I just want to go by. I just want to see what the signs are. That's all.
But for some reason, at this point in time, his main focus, what he really wants us to know and what he really wants us to do something about, is the fact that Elon Musk is an Anunnaki shadow.
This guy he lost a lot of money on the Dogecoin bet.
Most likely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's really mad at Elon for that.
But to kind of, first of all,
I could see it.
Let me, spoiler alert, I don't have the answers. I don't know what this guy wants us to do about it, but I'm going to talk about the Anunnaki today.
The Anunnaki in general? Okay, yeah.
If you haven't heard about the Anunnaki, I don't know much about it either, only from the little bit of research I've done.
Sure.
And I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that Elon is an Anunnaki shadow.
The Anunnaki, spoiler alert. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not something that I have a lot of knowledge on.
Right.
Are they not aliens?
They're a form of alien.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
They come from another planet. So, a little summary.
All right. About the Anunnaki.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
The Anunnaki are a group of deities that originate from ancient Mesopotamian mythology.
Okay.
Specifically, the Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian cultures. So, this is like pre-biblical times.
Right.
Yeah. The term Anunnaki is often translated to mean those who came down from the heavens or princely offspring.
Like aliens.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
These gods played a significant role in the spiritual and cultural life of the ancient peoples in this region. In Sumerian cosmology, the Anunnaki were considered to be powerful figures who descended from the sky to earth, often associated with the heavens and the forces of nature. They were believed to govern various aspects of human existence, including agriculture, fertility, and justice. Each god had specific responsibilities. For instance, Enlil was the god of wind and storms, while Inanna, also known as Ishtar, was the goddess of love and war. This multifaceted pantheon reflected the complexity of the world around the Sumerians and their attempts to explain natural phenomena. One of the most well-known myths involving the Anunnaki is the Epic of Gilgamesh. I know you remember hearing about that in school.
Yep.
One of the oldest literary works in human history.
Right.
In this epic, Gilgamesh, a historical king of Uruk, seems to understand life and death and ultimately seeks immortality.
Mm-hmm.
The Anunnaki play a role in these themes, embodying both the desire for human connection and the inevitability of mortality.
Right.
Their portrayal highlights the ancient understanding of the gods as both powerful and capricious, capable of bestowing blessings or curses upon humanity. Mm-hmm. The Anunnaki are often depicted in Sumerian art and literature as anthropomorphic figures, which means they possessed human-like qualities and attributes. This representation made it easier for people to relate to them, as they reflected human emotions and desires. Temples and ziggurats were built in their honor, serving as places of worship and connection between the divine and the earthly realms. In modern times, the Anunnaki have garnered significant attention beyond academic circles, particularly in the realms of pseudo-archaeology and conspiracy theories.
Hmm.
Some theorists, such as Zechariah Sitchin, I hope I'm saying that right, have proposed that the Anunnaki were not just mythological figures, but extraterrestrial beings who visited Earth in ancient times. According to these theories, they allegedly influenced human civilization by providing advanced knowledge and technologies, particularly in agriculture and architecture. With these ideas having gained a following, they are largely dismissed by mainstream scholars as lacking credible evidence and historical basis. The fascination with the Anunnaki also touches on broader themes of human origin and the nature of gods and deities. Many cultures throughout history have created narratives involving gods who shape humanity's destiny, and the Anunnaki are a prime example of this archetype. Their stories reflect deep-seated questions about existence, purpose, and the relationship between humanity and the divine. Archaeological findings, including cuneiform tablets, have provided valuable insights into how the ancient Sumerians viewed the Anunnaki. These texts reveal a rich mythology where the Anunnaki interacted with humans, often intervening in their lives. The narrative of creation in the Enuma Elish, for instance, describes the Anunnaki's role in creating humanity to serve them, reflecting ancient views on labor and divine hierarchy. In summary, the Anunnaki represent a fascinating intersection of mythology, culture, and modern speculation. They embody the ancient human quest to understand the forces that shape our world. Whether viewed as gods of the past or as symbols of humanity's quest for knowledge and connection, the Anunnaki continue to captivate our imaginations, reminding us of the rich tapestry of beliefs that have shaped human civilization throughout history. And that particular person, that theorist that they mentioned, Zechariah Sitchin, and I'm still hoping I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's pretty much a fiction author when looking it up.
Okay.
All these stories that he comes up with are in the fiction section, the science fiction.
Makes sense. There are things that, like, when you don't have enough proof, what can you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna go in the fiction section. Like, that's just is what it is.
Plain and simple.
You know, that's part of being a conspiracy theorist. But no, I mean, just in general, just things that I've watched on like TV and stuff like that. I mean, the Anunnaki and other alien races of sorts. It's all really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are at a point in our society today that we can admit that there's things out there. You know what I mean? It's a little small-minded to think that the universe is so vast.
It's almost arrogant to assume that we're the only ones out here.
Right. It's not just us. There's no way that it could be just us.
Yeah.
In an infinitely expanding, like ever expanding universe, supposedly. Like, it goes on forever, continues to grow forever. There's got to be more than us. Like, we're just one little speck in like a grain of sand in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, there's other grains of sand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
most definitely. I mean, what is the Anunnaki shadow, though? And that was the thing I had a hardest time actually finding.
Yeah, so the only thing that I gather from that just naturally is, like, so in my opinion, the Anunnaki shadow, right? Like, just a shadow of anything for me is somebody that works for or with.
So working for the Anunnaki, of
right? So, like, they are there, and for whatever reason, have selected Elon Musk to be their champion and to share maybe things to push us into advancement technologically, or, you know, He's doing space exploration now, and all these things. I could understand where the conspiracy comes from. Do I buy into that one? Not so much. There's a lot of people that could be a shadow of sorts for an alien race. I just don't see it.
Not as Elon Musk.
I don't see it being Elon Musk. I mean, hey, prove me wrong, Elon.
I mean,
he doesn't want that attention.
Nah. Not right now. This particular article did not mention. It is believed that in ancient days, the Anunnaki came to our planet to mine our gold.
Yes.
To fix their atmosphere that was falling apart. There was something about the properties of our gold that would help repair their atmosphere.
I have heard that. Yeah.
From what I understand,
utilizing us for resources.
Yeah.
Right.
From what I've gathered, their planet is no longer there. They're just floating around in spaceships.
Interesting.
Allegedly,
sure.
So, and as far as I know, all our gold, most of it, unless there's some little bit down in the ground that we have not yet discovered, a lot of our gold is in reserve somewhere, like Fort Knox in little gold bars.
Now, yeah.
I
mean, prior to when they were initially coming down, I'm sure it was sprinkled all over.
I'm sure Elon Musk, with his wealth, maybe has gathered up a few gold bars.
Well, quite a few.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
But as much as I could get for the Anunnaki shadows, this is pretty much it.
Okay.
The term Anunnaki shadow isn't widely recognized in mainstream archaeology or mythology, but it often appears in discussions about conspiracy theories and alternative history. It typically refers to the idea that the Anunnaki, often depicted as ancient extraterrestrial beings, have a lingering influence over control over humanity, manifesting in various forms of societal manipulation or secrecy. In this context, the shadow might symbolize hidden knowledge, unseen powers, or the belief that these beings are still operating behind the scenes in modern society. This concept plays into themes of ancient astronauts and the idea that advanced beings once interacted with humans, leaving a hidden legacy that influences current events, technologies, or even spiritual beliefs. It's important to note that these interpretations are speculative and not grounded in historical evidence.
No, of course.
Yeah. They reflect a contemporary fascination with ancient myths and the mysteries of our origins rather than established historical facts.
Right.
Now, while I don't fully submit to this, I do find it interesting that in the Bible, it does mention some of these names like Ishtar and some of the Anunnaki gods.
Right.
It mentions them in the Old Testament when they're talking about all the gods that they're trying to push out of the land.
Right.
Yeah. And seeing as Sumer, Mesopotamia, is like the first known civilization.
Kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they built these ziggurats that you hear that you hear about in history class, apparently for the Anunnaki.
Right. So pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot to build off of them existing or having existed in some form or another.
Yeah.
There's a lot to base that in. Again, with Elon Musk being a worker bee for them, I don't know. But still, yeah. I believe in aliens and other creatures outside of this world. Always have, always will.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't close my mind off that much to think it's just us.
But whether they're coming to mine our gold to fix their atmosphere.
Well, I mean,
stranger things have happened, I suppose.
I guess.
I'm not buying it. I don't think Elon Musk is a shadow for the Anunnaki. I think, like I said, I would like to, if anybody knows this guy and he wants to send something into our email and give us his point of view.
Sure.
I'd like to see that. Very interested.
Yeah, if you've got contact info for this person, we'll reach out to him. If you've potentially got an address, just send all this in via messages or email or whatever the case may be. You can find that on all of our social media. Our email's there. Obviously, direct messaging is there.
Yeah.
And if he... Do we know for sure it's a he?
Yeah. I've seen him putting some signs out.
Okay.
He's...
Well, if you ever see him again...
Yeah. It's while I'm working, so I can't, like, pull over and be like...
Yell out your window. Toss a card at him or something.
What you talking about?
Get us in contact. No, I don't know. I would like to just hear where'd you get this theory from?
Yeah.
And why are you subscribing to it so hard?
Yeah.
Because
need to know.
This is one who's been on for a minute. I remember when you sent me the picture of it.
Yeah. And he really wants us to know this one. Like before, he was just his signs were at random.
Yeah.
Right now it's just Elon is Anunnaki shadow.
Right. It's there. Interesting. Okay. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments below.
Yeah. Please.
And yeah.
Interested to hear.
Whoa. What's this?
How did these get here? What? Oh, hold on. I got a message coming in on the computer.
Okay.
We have heard you talking about us. This is the aliens. Surprise. We have made 4 dishes for you as a thank you for bringing attention to us. In this particular game, you will choose one human number between 1 and 4. And
oh god.
And whichever one you choose, you'll eat what is in this dish.
Uh-huh.
We are watching, and we will be very entertained. Thank you. Goodbye.
There it is, man. Proof of aliens.
There it is. They, as you can see, they put this here.
Clearly.
It just appeared. Okay.
Goodness. Okay.
I will let you pick a number for me.
All right.
Then I'll just pick a number for you.
Okay.
All right. So which one of these lovely dishes do you choose for me?
2.
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
Ramen and OJ. They must be fans of Joyner Lucas and Lil Baby. It is literally ramen and OJ. Ramen and orange juice.
That's gross.
Did it say how many? Let's see. How many bites do I have to take?
What's wrong with you?
I'm not going to take too many bites of this because...
I'd say 1 should suffice.
This is going to be interesting. I feel like I need to get a piece that's been coated in orange juice just for the effect.
Is it real pulpy?
About the most pulpy thing is the ramen.
Okay, makes sense.
It's actually not bad.
No?
No.
That's so gross.
It's sweet.
Mm.
Might save it for later.
Yeah.
Thanks, aliens. I'll put this to the side. So, I get to choose for you now.
Oh, yay.
Let's see. Which one looks the worst? Let's go with 1.
Okay. Bro, what the fuck is that?
It's a pickle fruit roll-up.
Bro. Hold on. This bitch don't even want to open.
Oh my.
Oh, God. Why does it look like that?
Did the fruit roll up just disappear? It mainly looks like pickle. Did they give us a fruit roll up on the pickle original? Because, I mean, I see the...
Oh, it's... Ew. It's on there.
I see the... It melted.
It's on there. I'll stir it into this for good measure.
Oh boy.
Are we sure this is safe for consumption?
That's the aliens.
Okay.
Let me see if they put a little... Yeah, it's in the fine print. Everything that we have provided to you is edible.
Sick. Oh.
The crunch is hurting me.
Oh, God. Oh.
So, everybody, that was a pickle wrapped in a fruit roll-up.
I do apologize if you guys don't like mouth noises. I'm not sure how much this is picking up.
It's a little ASMR for you.
Yeah, I don't recommend that. Not at all. Oh my goodness. That's so gross.
Say thank you to the aliens.
Yeah, thanks. Aliens.
All right, which one you got for me?
Golly. Okay, let's see which one looks worse. I can't tell what they are, man. I'll give you 3.
Okay. Pop-Tart guacamole sandwich.
I'm really glad I gave you 3. What in the fuck?
Who is the cook on this spaceship?
Absurd.
It is guacamole.
Oh my... Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. That looks like baby shit.
It does.
Oh.
Which makes me even more nervous to put this in my mouth. I don't like that image. I don't... Sandwiched in a Pop-Tart. Here goes nothing. Mm-mm.
No. No, I didn't think it would be good.
Mm-mm. I was able to tolerate that ramen and OJ. This is... No. I'm not even going to take another bite.
I wouldn't. That didn't look great at all.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I guess all that's left for you is... Sorry, that was... I'll be sitting on the toilet.
I would imagine.
Number 4, man.
Let's
see what we got for...
Yeah, just pass it to me.
This is...
Oh.
Peanut butter and chili sandwich.
Huh? What?
That's what it says.
You said peanut butter and chili?
Yeah.
Like a chili pepper? Or like shitting later chili? Uh-huh.
Chili.
What kind of fucking chili, bro? Oh. I'm really scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. Peanut butter and chili? Why, bro?
Holy shit.
Oh, it does not smell good, dude.
Your face. Holy shit. It's taking you forever to chew that one.
Mm-hmm. That's so gross, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh.
I mean, they took the time to make that for us.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just know that the time and effort of whomever made it is appreciated.
The time and effort, yeah.
So gross.
Oh, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that.
Oh, man. All right. Well.
How's your stomach, man?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Fair.
So this episode is probably just slightly longer than usual. Obviously, we wanted to get extra clips in and talk about the experience that we had and everything like that. So if you stuck around to this point, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Please share, review, subscribe, like, favorite. Please do all of the things. You have no idea how much it helps. And honestly, it's like the freest way that you could support us. Honestly, I just hope we get to a point where we can take sponsors' money. I don't care about the people's money.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want.
But for right now, the love is what counts.
Where are you at, lawnmower? So, yeah, it is super appreciated, though. Just all of the ways that you can support are everything right there. Just like, share, subscribe, everything. I'm still at a loss for words from the chili and peanut butter. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, man. I think the look on your face when you ate that is what made this whole episode.
I hope so.
I don't know. They got to see you in the Wolverine mask again.
Yeah.
Under different circumstances.
Different circumstances, but yeah, we'll take those two snippets and you eating the guacamole Pop-Tart, and it'll be a great time.
Yeah, that wasn't too great either.
So,
flashbacks.
Yeah, good times. Anyways, again, you made it this far. We love you. We appreciate you. But I think all in all,
that was all Kano.
Bye, my friends.